Welcome back to the 8th episode of Worst Idea Ever. Welcome back to the
You all right?
8th episode of... Yeah, what do you mean?
That something was wrong with the sound there. But
Yeah,
I guess
maybe.
we're okay. All right.
Oh, it was... I had that clicked.
All right, good.
Yeah, we got that figured out. That's good. Right. But yeah, welcome back to the 8th episode of Worst Idea Ever. My name is Gabe.
I'm Thomas.
And
here we go. 8th episode.
Here we go. 8th episode.
Good things come in 8.
The great 8. The great 8. Yes.
The great 8.
All right. It's been a minute.
It feels like it has been a long time, but it's usually the amount of time we take between record. Maybe a few days longer, but it's usually 10 days between recordings.
Yeah, it was that Thanksgiving break. I think that's thrown us off.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was all right. How was yours?
It was good.
It was mine was brief.
Brief,
but it was chill.
All right, all right. I like that.
Yeah.
Brief and chill.
Brief and chill. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
But,
good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I did not have mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving, which I think was one of our Thanksgiving foods.
Is
a rare. I haven't not had mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving in a long time.
I think I had. Yeah, I think I had some. I didn't eat that much on Thanksgiving.
Really? Why is that? Any particular reason?
No.
Just didn't?
No. Usually it's a little bit of a stomach issue sometimes.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
But that is not what happened. I have no idea what happened.
What time do you usually have Thanksgiving dinner? For us, it's around between 2 to 4. Seems like it's more of a lupper. You know what I mean?
More of a lupper.
More of a lupper.
I think on paper we always shoot for like 3 or 4 o'clock, but we usually don't end up eating until at least 5. I feel like at the earliest.
I wonder why Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's not a dinner really. It's a late lunch. I wonder why that is.
It's an all-day feast, I think.
All-day feast. Yes. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now on to Christmas.
I know we're getting
next big holiday.
Next big holiday. But before we go on to Christmas,
yes,
I think we have some pertinent issues that we need to discuss. But before we get into that, again, remember to like and subscribe, hit that notifications bell, share, leave a supportive comment, whatever you want to do, help your boys out. We're still waiting on ad revenue, so.
We thought we had something going, but that ended up fizzling out.
Yes, that did end up fizzling out. Not sponsored anymore. Yeah.
They thought, no, they didn't think about it. They just went out of business.
Yeah. Well, he's this guy is kind of a think tank, so I'm sure there'll be more things coming down the pipeline.
He's a fountain of ideas.
He's a fountain of ideas. Yes.
But
an aristocrat, if you will.
Yeah.
But
Renaissance man. A Dark Ages man. But yeah, I went to a vinyl store today, and I don't know how to feel about the whole vinyl thing. I do think it's an interesting way of purchasing music. Sometimes I feel like it's unnecessary, but it is fun, to sit down and listen to a record and look at the record while you're listening to it. I think that's a unique experience that is kind of it's been lost, ever since CDs really, and then ever since streaming. But
well, I feel like with like tapes, like actual tapes too. Like I feel like vinyl's one of that was kind of the catalyst for the end of vinyls.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess. Yeah, never mind, whatever. But yeah.
Well, what was after vinyl? 8 tracks? Is that what they had?
I'm not up to date on my audio history. So.
I'm not that old. We're not that old so that we know.
No.
What came out. I hear 8 tracks a lot, but
I just remember CDs as a kid.
The oldest thing, my mom's car had a cassette player.
Yeah,
that was a 99 Camry that had a cassette player. And it was a little old, but CDs were the newest thing at the time.
Yeah.
So cassettes were a little outdated because CDs had replaced them, but it wasn't totally weird to have a few cassettes because we did.
Yeah. Well, my parents had a excuse me, like a what was it?
Compact disc.
No. They had a like a 2001 or might have been a 99 Chrysler minivan. And it had
the Grand Caravan, eh?
No, it was not. It was a Chrysler Voyager.
Ooh. I don't recall what that looked like. My aunt had a Grand Caravan, and that's like burned into my memory.
It looked like a shinier version of that, since the Grand Caravan was a Dodge. The Chrysler had the Voyager, and they had the Town and Country.
Okay. Yeah. My uncle had a Sebring too.
Oh yes, Sebring. I like those little. Remember the Crossfires?
No.
Oh, it was really cool. It was like a little coupe. It looked kind of like a Miata almost.
Okay.
It was a lot cooler looking.
Yeah.
Wasn't as flamboyant as a Miata, but
indeed.
Anyway, yeah, no, our my childhood minivan had a cassette player in it, and then my dad had a Nissan Altima, had a CD player in it, and my dad has a Frontier now, which also has a CD player in it still. It's a 2014.
Wow. I got a 2015 and it has a CD player.
Yeah. How about that?
Did yours have a CD player?
No. The 2020.
I wonder what the last year for that was.
2015, maybe?
Really?
I feel like that would make...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not... So you're not into the whole vinyl hype?
Well, no, I mean, I do like it, but I'm not going to spend more than $10. Although, honestly, those are all of those are just sleeves. I bought those for
really?
I bought those for $3 each at an antique mall. You see, it says $3 on all of them. So those are just the sleeves. The records weren't in there. I don't think I've ever. Well, that's not true. I won't spend more than $10 on a vinyl. You know.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a unique version that I can't buy anywhere else. Like there's a Vanilla Fudge vinyl I bought. But it has certain versions of songs that you can't get anywhere else. Like I looked them up on Spotify and YouTube, and you can't find those versions of the songs. So it's kind of interesting. And I'll buy live versions of albums too.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, but I saw a Megadeth Peace Cells vinyl today, and I thought about getting that, but I decided not to because that's one of my favorite albums. But I think the best vinyl kind of record to buy would be a jazz album for me because
really,
yeah, jazz is cool and vinyl's cool. So that's the one I would play and just kind of relax to. I'm not sure about like Megadeth, even though I love that album. I don't know if vinyl's like my top way to listen to that.
I mean, I don't think it's anyone's top way to listen to it because I don't care what you say. Vinyl does not sound the best. It just doesn't. The audio on your iPhone sounds the best. Sorry.
I'm not sure. When I've listened to vinyl, it's been through good speakers, so I feel prejudiced in that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure what the argument is, why they say vinyl sounds the best. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, whatever.
I would like to just, I mean, I think I like vinyl because it makes listening to music an event.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you put on a vinyl, you're going to want to listen because you put in the work to do it.
I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of a vinyl or like having like a record player, like, you know, like a vinyl collection. But am I ever going to listen to them? Probably not.
Yeah. I
and
mean,
it's also expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
You know?
Well, that's why I get the I always look for my vinyls in the discount section.
Yeah.
So I haven't paid more than $8 for a vinyl in a long time.
Yeah. Well, actually, over Thanksgiving break, I was bored and I was going through my parents' vinyl collection.
Yeah, they probably got some good ones,
collection. I mean, nothing that really stood out. They had like a Beach Boys greatest hits vinyl, like from the 70s greatest hits, you know? Like it was, I'm like, that was really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wanted to take it, but I didn't. And they had, what else did they have? Some Billy Idol. They had Big Country.
Nice.
That, yeah. I think my mom had Diver Down, Van Halen.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
What else do they have? In Excess, maybe.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Nothing really crazy. I mean, I really like the Beach Boys one, but other than that, but it was just like, it's kind of neat, I guess. Yeah. A lot of Bruce Springsteen, unfortunately.
Is that your mom or your dad?
That's my mom.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah. Bruce.
The boss, as they call him.
What's that?
They call him the boss. Not
yes.
me, but yeah. But my dad has some interesting. I think he kind of got some of his brothers, but he had the Led Zeppelin debut, Led Zeppelin 1 on vinyl. He had Back in Black on vinyl. Ooh. He had the Jimi Hendrix debut on vinyl.
Bump, bam, bump, bam.
Yeah. And then those are the three big ones.
Okay.
He had a Lynyrd Skynyrd one. He had a Journey one. Yeah, he had some good ones. I was thinking of, like you say, the best of. You know, you see the best of, and then you see the very best, and then you see the very, very best.
Volume 3.
Yeah. Yeah. The very, very best just seems kind of dumb, and then you see like super, or you see it's usually like deluxe version, and then you might see super deluxe, and then you see super ultra mega deluxe, and then you see 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary. It's like, all right, how many times are you going to release the same
thing?
They'll
still do that.
2023 mix. Okay.
They'll still do that on iTunes. I'll have like a whole bunch of artists be going through, and it's like, oh, why are there like, hey, this artist has 3 albums. Why do I have 7 under that artist?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, the deluxe version. I'm like, you're buying it on, you're streaming
outtakes. Yeah.
You're streaming it on iTunes, Spotify. Why do you need to have a deluxe version of this? Yeah. You don't. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's just trying to get money. And then the thing with the Beatles Get Back, I said I'm a huge Beatles fan. They're my top Spotify artists this year. I know how you think about it. It was interesting. The Beatles were my top Spotify artist, but none of my top 5 songs were Beatles songs.
Do we want to talk? Do we want to talk about our? I have Apple.
Oh, we
Music.
should. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, we'll do that.
I have Apple Music,
but
maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah. One of the things was like the Beatles released a version of them recording "Get Back," which was like 1969.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we don't know. Like, dude, it's been 50 years and half the band's dead. Why don't you just release all the footage? Like, who cares? You know?
There's not going to be any Beatles fans around by the time they want to.
Yeah, dude, it's been 50 years since that stuff's been recorded. Yeah. Why don't you just release all of it? No one cares anymore. But I'll go to my Spotify Wrapped.
No, I'm an Apple Music user. I know I know that's a hot take for a lot of people out there. But I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna.
I'll do my top songs. My 5. I did some of my songs were my top songs because I practiced them to get them down.
Yeah.
But I'll just go over those. My number 1 song was "Dark Star" by the Grateful Dead. It's kind of a trippy single, and then it was an Al Di Meola song. He was playing a Bach piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it. Sarah Bond from Violin Sonata in B minor, I think. And then a friend of mine, John Brennan. I had 2 of his songs in the top 10. Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
Shout out John Brennan.
Shout out John Brennan. And then I Ain't Done Singing Yet. Those are up there. But then I had Beyond the Mirage by Paco de Lucia and John McLaughlin. Al Di Meola, I've talked about that album. And then I had Flamenco Sketches by Miles Davis. Those are my top 5, kind of top 8 of the 2023 fiscal year.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see on Apple Music is kind of odd because they give you like your top artists, they give you top songs, top albums, top genres.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there. It doesn't give me how many minutes I listened to though. How many minutes did you listen to this year?
35,000.
35,000.
Which was a huge jump from last year. It was 20,000. And this year was 35,000. That's almost a double jump.
So it's saying for me, as of October 3rd, I hit 50,000 minutes.
Wow. That's a lot.
I don't know how long that is actually. But then let's see, top genres. Well, this is just stupid. Top genres. It goes top 5 genres.
Rock, heavy rock.
Hard rock, metal, country, rock, pop. You just hit them all right there. That's it.
Yeah.
Just the most whatever. Yeah. But let's see, top 5 artists of the year for me. Number 1, I Prevail. Number 2, Morgan Wallen. Number 3, Metallica. Number 4, Kenny Chesney. Number 5, Disturbed. And a lot of this too is very skewed because I work out like skewed. A lot of this is very skewed because I work out like 4 days a week, and I'm listening to my workout playlist on my Apple account, obviously. Yeah. So well, I'm not that sick in the head. It's just
that's the thing with mine. Some of them were things that I wouldn't listen to, but I just had to practice for shows and whatnot. Yeah.
And then top 10 songs. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do albums. That's a little bit too much. Top 10 songs. Gasoline, I Prevail. Shift Work by Kenny Chesney and George Strait. Rise by I Prevail. Visceral by I Prevail. Judgment Day by I Prevail. Come and Get It by I Prevail. Night Shift by John Party. The Crownless King by Killswitch Engage and Chuck Billy. Bow Down by I Prevail and Choke by I Prevail. So it's a little bit skewed.
Nice.
Who else made... I'll just go through some other artists. Hardy's on there. Maroon 5's on there. Linkin Park's on there. Avenged Sevenfold, Godsmack, Blink-182, Mac Miller, Pantera, Florida Georgia Line, the All-American Rejects, whatever. Crazy.
My top was top artists were the Beatles.
Okay.
Pantera.
Ooh.
And I think Pantera was my number 1 last year.
Oh.
Paco de Lucia, Al Di Meola, and Extreme.
Extreme. Nice.
But I don't know how many of those people had top songs for the year. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, so of my 5 top artists, only 2 of them had my top 5 songs, which is interesting. But that's how it goes, I guess.
You know? Out of my top... I think out of my top 5 artists, only... there are only 2 of them represented in my top 5 songs.
Interesting.
I mean, well... I had I Prevail as my top artist, and like they were like 7 of my top 10 songs. So
yeah,
whatever. I don't know, but
I don't even think the Beatles weren't even in my top 10 songs.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
Yeah,
it's very odd.
I was looking at tickets up in Foxborough. They have Metallica and Pantera and Mammoth. Eddie Van Halen's son.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I think I might get those tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't been to a concert in... It's been a minute, I think.
My last concert was Kiss.
Yeah, that was just...
Bridgestone,
not even a
few
month
months
ago, right?
I think it was September. It was around Labor Day.
No. That was before that.
Or maybe it was October. It was on like October 21st or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, late October. Yeah.
Huh. I don't even know when my last concert was.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to some shitty concerts. I wouldn't count those, though. Or shows. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea when my last concert was.
Yeah. There were a few songs I was thinking of that sound similar this week. One was Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly.
Inagata...
The riff. And then the riff of that song sounds like NIB by Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And then that riff sounds like Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. Sunshine of Your Love is... No, right? That's that riff.
I'm not familiar with any of these
NIB
songs.
is... No, wow, wow, bow, no, wow, no, right? And then Iron Butterfly, I'm trying to think of the riff, but it sounds so much like those other riffs, I can't think of it.
Yeah. That's the one I'm
down. Oh, it goes down, no, bow, 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 So those are three riffs that I've been trying to struggle with. I've been struggling with.
I have been trying to struggle with Blue Moon.
I've been struggling with trying to think of, because for me, like the way, if someone asks me, do you know this song? I think you should only say yes if you can hum it out of memory, you know? I think that's a good way to measure that.
Ooh. It's kind of like when you see like the girls with the shirt on, everyone's like, name 5 songs, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of.
I think it's warranted. Don't wear the shirt if you don't know 5 songs.
I get that. Yeah.
People have like a Nirvana shirt on because they think it's cool or sexy or some bullshit. And there's
nothing sexy about Nirvana. Sorry, there's nothing.
Hey, what color were?
For a guy, there's nothing sexy about Nirvana.
What color were Kurt Cobain's eyes?
I know what they are. They were blue.
You know why, right?
No.
One blew this way, one blew that way.
Is that a James Hetfield joke?
Yeah.
I saw that video.
That's good. That video. And his eyes actually were blue, which is kind of funny. But no, I love Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana's good. No. We were doing quotes at my work, and one of the guys who got, it was a Kurt Cobain quote, and it was something like, if you can't, it was like, if you can't find a door, no, it was like, if you can't find a door, make one. Something like that. And I was like, if you can't find a door, just blow one open with a shotgun.
If you can't live your life anymore, just kill yourself.
We're just
demonetized.
We're just retelling jokes we've heard. So it's all right. We're good. I heard that somewhere.
I remember that joke.
Dude, James Hetfield, he's told some interesting jokes. I think after Lane Staley died, or when he was struggling, he was like, on stage, he was like, I can't help it. And he was making fun of Lane Staley.
They were friends, though.
I know. That's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
But I only think it was Lane Staley because someone said in the thumbnail that he was making fun of Lane Staley. So I don't know if he actually was.
People don't know anything. They just say whatever.
Yeah.
All this, you always hear this clickbait. Oh, so-and-so gunned down. And you read the actual story, you're like, that's not at all what happened. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
That's we're on a slippery slope. We better hike back to the peak.
Hike back to the peak.
Hike back to the peak.
All right. We were going to talk about we talked about one of these last 2 episodes, Behind the Music, legendary documentary by, I think it was VH1.
VH1, yes.
And they did a lot about they did one on Metallica, Megadeth, and Poison, right?
Poison, Motley Crue. They pretty much every decent band of like the 80s and 90s they did one on. And it's just the same story every time.
It's just the same story. So we have some quotes here. We talked about the The Black Ice, Trapped Under Black Ice by Metallica, where the bus flipped. The bus flipped on black ice, and Metallica's bass player ended up dying. And James Hetfield was like, I talked to the bus driver, and he said there was black ice. I walked 1.5 miles up and down the road. I didn't see any black ice. That was a good quote. And then we were talking about, I think Kirk Hammett was talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I looked over and I saw Cliff's feet hanging out from the bus. And that's all I saw. And then I think Cliff had a blanket on him, and someone went to take the blanket from Cliff, and James went, don't take that from him. Take that away from him. Yeah. Oh. But that was kind of sad, but those were quotes that stuck with me, you know?
Yeah, also from that, a lot of
good ones from Metallica.
That was, I mean, I love Metallica. That was honestly one of my favorite.
Sad story, really.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that documentary was one of my favorite documentaries of all time.
Yeah.
But there's a show too where, was this in Montreal, or was that this was the same one with the Guns N' Roses, right?
Is that Vancouver? I feel like that's Vancouver.
I want to say it was Montreal.
Okay, all right.
I don't know, somewhere in Canada.
It was them two?
Yeah, it was Guns N' Roses and Metallica on a tour. It doesn't really seem like a fit to me, but I guess...
that combination right there.
Yeah.
Some danger.
Yeah, it's definitely some danger. I guess there was a... during one of the sets, I think they were playing One.
Oh, yeah.
I think James accidentally steps... Whatever, there's pyrotechnics going off at the show, and he, doesn't stay within the designated area for whatever, where he's supposed to be. And he missteps, and he gets, caught on fire, stuck in one of the pyrotechnic blasts, if you will. And all the band members are describing it, their account, and Lars is like, James looks like the torch that they carry up at the Olympics to light the ceremonial whatever.
Towards the Olympic fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Kirk is like, oh, you want to say it?
You can do it.
Kirk's like, yeah, I was looking at James, and he looked at me, and, the skin was starting to blister, and he did this on his hand.
And James just like, yeah, 3rd degree burns. That's it. That's all he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else?
We've talked about the other ones.
What else from Metallica? Let's see.
He left the band.
That's a classic.
That's not from Behind the Music. That's from, I think it was called Some Kind of Monster. We started watching that, and then 10 minutes in, we were like, what the hell is this? And we turned it off. It was just boring.
It was just too much.
He left the band. It was Lars Ulrich talking.
But everyone said that.
James Newsted, right?
Yeah, Jason Newsted. Everyone's seen the video. If you're in a band,
he left the band.
Just a clip of
time out.
Lars going, he fucking left the band. He left the band, and it's stupid, but it's hilarious.
The best one is, James is like, you just sitting. James is like, I told you I was in a shit mood, and you just keep pecking at me. Yeah. And Lars is like, well, you're the one sitting here just being a complete dick, and you just see Kirk in the background go. Just a head slap himself, face palm himself.
Yeah. What else?
But and then in the Metallica one, it was when they kicked out Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine. After I don't know how many countless stories they already told in the Metallica Behind the Music about Dave Mustaine being, violent and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He finally gets kicked out after like 2 years in the band, and he's like, what, no warning? No second chance? I was like, all right, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't doubt that was like your 15th chance.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, I know people who get violent when they drink, and they're not fun to be around.
I know someone too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What else was... Oh, do you remember the one with the Russians?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't remember it. Do you?
No, it was something like it was like James Hetfield in 1992 or something. He's like, you know, and I just looked around and I was drinking in the middle of Siberia with a bunch of Russians, wondering, where's my life going? Something like that. It was funny. And then they talked about Jägermeister.
Yes.
Like I know you like.
Yes. I didn't believe it when I was watching the documentary, but one night I had some Jägermeister, and I'm usually a pretty docile, jovial, easy to be around guy when I'm, you know, hitting the bevies. But I had Jägermeister one night, you know, on top of a bed of Bud Light and Jack Daniels as well. I'm sure
I was not there, unfortunately.
No, you were not. But yeah, it'll make you see red for whatever reason. But I remember, you know, after I had my incident, I remember in the Metallica documentary, James is like, we found this delightful after dinner drink called Jägermeister. If you drank too much of it, it would make you extremely violent, you know, which is true. I don't know why. It's something. It's that.
Get into that.
It's that German angst. I think it comes out through the Jägermeister.
German angst.
Yeah. 0-2.
Yeah.
It'll do it to you, understandably.
And then I like the Megadeth documentary too. It was I think Dave Mustaine's dad was dying, and he was like, it was like 1985, so he was hopped up on the stuff, and
the stuff.
And I think he got a call to go to his dad was dying in the hospital, and he got a call from his family, and he's like, yeah, I just hopped on my bike, and you know I was pounding a fifth of whiskey while speeding on my bike to the hospital. And then he's like, he got to the hospital and he was drunk, and his sister said to him, you know, if you don't stop, you're going to end up like him. And he's like, and I'll be damned if that weren't correct. Something like that. Something like that.
I'm stupid.
And then for some reason, the ones that stick with me is the drummer from one of the original Megadeth lineups died. The Killing Is My Business and the Peace Sells albums, at least.
Killing is my business, and my business be good.
Gar Samuelson died, and Dave was like, yeah, you know, when I heard that he died, I just came to the conclusion that the music industry had lost a true giant. And I was like, all right. For some reason, that's
true giant.
For some reason, that stuck with me.
No one knows who this guy is.
For some reason, that stuck with me.
An inspiration to all. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. No disrespect.
Dude, we've talked about this before. It's like, I think some people think, you know, you get into music and then because of the music industry, you get into drugs. My experience is, I mean, I've been in bands and I've played, you know, local venues around Nashville
and
or whatever.
And you've done copious amounts of drugs.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a huge musician, but from magician. I'm not a huge musician, but like from what I've seen is people don't get into music and then they get into drugs. They're into drugs and then they're also into music, you know? Because if people weren't doing music, they'd be into drugs. You know, like my parents were worried that, you know, me getting into the music industry.
That is the same thing my parents said.
I'd get into drugs. It's like, no, these people are into drugs anyway. Yeah. And they do music on the side, you know?
Honestly, especially our generation, everyone's into some type of drug.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many out there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not just.
Yeah, I mean,
music isn't a gateway drug into more drugs.
No,
it's just
I mean, these people were doing drugs before they did music. They do more drugs than music.
They're mutually exclusive. I think it's just the type of people. I don't know. Whatever. It's not I don't know. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I was hearing things about, you know, when I was into Guns N' Roses, I thought, you know, they got into music and then they got into drugs. Mm-hmm. And I heard no. They were drug addicts before they released an album. I'm like, damn, you guys, that's messed up.
Yeah.
You know, and then same with Megadeth. There was a Megadeth story where the engineer or producer for Peace Sells, he walked in on the first day of recording and he asked where everybody is. And the guy said from the studio, yeah, they're all shooting up in the bathroom. Nice. It's like, bro, nobody even knows who you are yet and you're already doing that type of stuff. It's crazy, you know?
I mean...
So then you think if they hadn't have made it...
They'd just be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Hey, man.
That's interesting how that kind of changed. I think that may have changed, but I don't know. I hear that about a jazz artists too. You know, they went to drugs and then they made music on. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think people are just into drugs, and people can either hide it really well, or they can't. That's the thing about music. That's the reason you know about it, is because it's glorified.
It is. It totally is.
It's glorified in music, but people are just doing it in regular life. But it's not glorified at your 9-to-5 office job.
Yeah. Well,
that's why you hear about it.
Honestly, I think because like if you can't do that stuff with a 9-to-5 job. You'll get fired. You know what I mean? But with music, with music, it's easier because you can still do that stuff and make music because you're not working as much. You know, I feel like music is one of the.
Do something real quick.
Yeah.
Getting some pops.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully that
full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
But I feel like music is one of the careers that you can do drugs like that and you can still be successful. And then it kind of adds an edge to your musical identity.
Yeah, it definitely helps build a brand if you want to be known as a junkie. But I mean, people were like, "Oh, it makes you more creative." Maybe I could see that, honestly, depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you're smoking crack, I'm not sure if that helps your creativity. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Whatever. It's just
it's an interesting thought.
Yes, it is pretty interesting. Do we have any more quotes on here?
The Pantera ones.
Pantera.
We watched The Dirt. Just give me the dirt.
Just give me the dirt. Just give me the dirt.
When it's not funny, but we quoted a lot when Razzle died. And we knew the story beforehand, so we knew he died. But
I think it actually was in the Motley Crue VH1.
Oh, really? When they crashed, Razzle, Vince Neil from Motley Crue had an accident where he ran into a car and then it killed the passenger who was Razzle from another band. His name was Razzle.
He was a drummer, right?
He was a drummer for a band named Hanoi Rocks.
Okay.
And in the movie, he went, "Oh, my buddy's asleep. My buddy's asleep," but he was actually dead.
Yeah, he's like, "My buddy's just asleep." And they shine a light on him, his neck's like severed or something.
Yeah.
Like,
it's nasty.
Yeah.
And then the Pantera one.
Well, speaking of Motley Crue, we watched the Poison behind the music.
Oh yeah.
And there's a quote from
CC
DeVille, the lead guitarist. And he's talking about, I guess he had a house. Was it in Malibu or something?
Something like that.
Somewhere in California.
It was like on top of a mountain, man. Yeah.
And he was like, it was the house of whores, and then it became the house of horrors. Because he was just having all these just prostitutes over and just doing coke all the time, That was hilarious. It was a good quote.
I like how, they say like grunge killed hair metal, the 80s metal. It's just the same thing, except the grunge guys were just depressed. Just the same thing. They were all doing all the same stuff. They were worse into drugs, honestly, than the 80s guys were. Yeah. And they were doing all the stuff the other guys did, except they were depressed. It was just a new fad.
But it's funny too. We talked about this before too, that like Poison did the same stuff Motley Crue did, but they did not last.
Well, I like Poison better.
No,
I think
but they did not
songs.
last even close to how long Motley Crue lasted, or like their peak.
Yeah, but
that's
unfortunate. I think because I think Poison's way better than Motley Crue. I really do. I think the songwriting. I've said this before. I think the songwriting for Poison is the best. Has the best songwriting for 80s metal. Over most any bands. I don't count Guns N' Roses as hair metal, so they're not in the. But I think Poison has the best songwriting for any 80s band, really. I don't count Van Halen as hair metal. I don't count Guns N' Roses.
See, Guns N' Roses and Van Halen are those two that I'm not sure where they belong.
Yeah, Van Halen, those are both kind of in-betweens.
Yeah. But, yeah,
hard rock,
I don't know.
Anyway.
I think... overall, I like Motley Crue better just because I like more of their content, more of their stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that Poison definitely had...
They had some good songs. They had a lot of... If you look at their songs are really good.
Well, I just feel like they are more talented.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, yeah, better songwriting. But... They just couldn't. I don't know. They just weren't.
Well, I think they started too late. Like Motley Crue started in '81, so they had the whole decade of the '80s to be hair metal. I think Poison's first album came out in '86.
I was gonna say '86. Yeah.
So they had 5 years to be. They had what? What was their first album?
Look what the Cat Dragged In.
Look what the Cat Dragged In. Then they had Open Up and Say Ah, right?
The 88?
I think it was 87, 88
and
anyways.
Then Flesh and Blood
and
was
Flesh and was 89.
89, yes. That was really pushing it.
And then they had... What was 91? They had an album in 91. Maybe that was Flesh and Blood, no?
When did Native Tongue come out?
I have no idea. I don't even know that album. So anyway, I know
it's
those
like
three.
2000 something. It was
okay. Well, that's past. They only.
It was a completely different sound, but there was a song off there I really do like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, anything past Nevermind is done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you know, like Guns N' Roses is different because they made it past Nirvana's Nevermind. You know what I mean? The Use Your Illusion was 91, right? Those two albums, and that was kind of their last album, but they were still touring. Nirvana, and same with Metallica. They were the last thrash metal band really to be on that scale. You know?
They're the best. Because
up for debate, for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, who do you think the best thrash?
Well, I know I like Megadeth.
Well, I like Megadeth too. I think
it's tough. I like Megadeth's guitar solo work better. Mm-hmm. I like Chris Poland and I like Marty Friedman, but I love Hetfield's voice. I like his riffs. But I don't really listen to anything past Master of Puppets. I haven't listened that much to Injustice for All with the Black Album.
It really sucks, honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure if it sucks or if it doesn't. I'm kind of undecided, but I mean, Megadeth is not a catalyst, but it was kind of an offshoot from Metallica.
I mean, sure.
So it's like I wish you just could have taken the good parts of Metallica and Megadeth and fused them together and just had it, it would be so much better if you had, James and Lars songwriting, James vocals, the lead guitar work from Megadeth, and then...
Well, the thing is, if it was the lead guitar work from Megadeth, it would have been Dave Mustaine doing the lead work. And lead-wise, he's not that much better to me than Kirk Hammett.
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying it'd be nice if you could, if you could just fuse the good parts of both.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you had Metallica with Megadeth's lead work, that'd be insane. Yeah, that'd be insane.
What do you mean? Like, I think Slayer's complete shit.
I have not listened to Slayer at all.
Anthrax has a song or two here or there.
Yeah, Scott Ian's in every metal documentary. So
Scott Ian.
He's always just there.
Yeah, he's always just there. You always hear about Scott Ian, but no one else from Anthrax.
I don't even know anybody else.
No, I don't. The lead singer's voice pisses me off too. I hate
know who that is. I gotta listen to them. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
They got a couple good songs. I don't know. Nothing great. Well, since we're on the topic, I know we've had people just request this topic. Best grunge band. What are you saying?
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, 100%.
Yeah. Can you do like a minute or two on Alice in Chains?
I can.
All right. I know I said I wouldn't take any bathroom breaks, but
Ah,
I have to use the bathroom
the
right
old
now.
the old
So
bladder
I'll be back.
issue.
I'll be back.
So, I mean, they say there's the big four of thrash, and they also say there's the big four of grunge. For me, there's really five. I want to say five bands for grunge. I mean, you got Alice in Chains, you got Pearl Jam, you got Nirvana, you got Soundgarden, you got STP. I don't know who the top four are. I just say there's five, whatever. I don't know. For me personally, I think Alice in Chains is the best. I like the dual lead singer thing they got going on there between Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley. I think that's it kind of adds not perspective. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. It's not call and response. It's just nice to have, I guess, two different points of view for vocals, I guess. Their lead work is absolutely nasty. Jerry Cantrell is, I mean, I guess he's their only guitarist. So, I mean, I guess it's just not all lead work, but his solos are super nasty. He's got some.
They fit the
crazy
songs well.
Yes.
Which is what I've been told.
He's got some crazy riffs. And the songwriting overall is just great.
Yeah, it is.
No, their stuff is extremely depressing, like Dirt. You just want to lay on.
I can't listen to that without being like, all right, I got to turn this off. It's making me too depressed. Honestly, the only songs that don't make me depressed are Them Bones.
Them Bones is good.
And Wood, but Wood kind of makes me depressed. Yeah. But any other song besides Damn That River is like that's upsetting.
You don't like
No, I do. I'm just saying, like, besides Them Bones,
so
Damn That River
you
and Word,
couldn't damn that river, and maybe I don't give a shit anyway.
but all those other songs are kind of upsetting. You know, Sick Man, Junkhead, Hate to Feel. Bro, you put on Hate to Feel, and you're in a bad state. Ooh, that's going bad.
Well, I mean, we always say that Facelift's a little bit more
An Angry Chair. Oh my gosh. No, Facelift's awesome. That's an upset. Like
we say it's not that upsetting, but they have Love Hate Love on.
Yeah, but
that's the worst
with
one.
Dirt, every song is like gives you the feeling of love, hate, love. I feel like.
But like some of those songs are nasty. Love Hate Love just drones on forever. I want to kill myself.
Yeah, it stops and then you're. Yeah,
I want to peel the skin off of your face.
Yeah, but I like Facelift a lot better. Dirt is honestly, I don't really listen to Dirt. I like Facelift and I like the EPs after.
What, Sap?
Sap's Jar of Flies is great.
That's not an EP though, right?
No, that's not. That's like 8 songs maybe. That has Rotten Apple, Nutshell. I Stay Away. Yeah.
I stay away.
I think it's Don't Follow. And then other ones on there too. Oh, Wailing Wasp or Wailing the Wasp. I forget.
Sea of Sorrow is Facelift.
That's Facelift. Oh, yeah. Dude. Oh, that Facelift album is so good. I saw the Facelift album in the vinyl store today. I was tempted. But it was like $30. I was telling my girlfriend, if you know the album, it's $30 minimum, which is too much for a vinyl. If I can just look it up on iTunes or Spotify, I'm not going to pay $30 for the vinyl.
Yeah.
I get all my vinyls in the discount section. Yeah.
So I don't know. For me personally, if I had to rank, like I was saying while you were, taking some alone time,
in the main vein,
draining the main vein, emptying the lizard. They always say there's the main, you have the God. That's awful. That noise. Yeah. That's an issue.
Which one? Yours or mine?
It's yours.
think it's yours.
No, really. It's not. I can see the waveform.
Is it the movement?
I can see the waveform right after your
Put a compressor on that would be good.
Like I was saying though, there's like the like the 4 main thrash bands, and there's also the 4 main grunge bands. They don't include STP.
I don't think STP is grunge. I think they came out the same. Oh, I know.
Maybe I don't. They're also different though.
They're not grunge for sure. I don't think they're grunge.
They're a little bit more funky, but like, is Alice in Chains grunge? I think
Alice
they're more
Chains,
alternative
Nirvana,
metal.
Pearl Jam are grunge. That's all it's grunge.
Pearl Jam's just rock. Nirvana's kind of punk.
No, dude, Nirvana is the most grunge you have.
Grunge really isn't a genre though. When you think it's a movement. It's not a genre. It's a movement. They're all different.
I don't know. I'd say they're
all very different.
The most grunge band I think of is Nirvana,
because everyone knows Nirvana,
and then Alice in Chains, and then Pearl Jam. Those are like the only grunge bands.
What about Soundgarden? Where's that fit?
Oh yeah, they're grunge too. Those to me, those are the 4. Aren't those the 4 of grunge?
Allegedly. I think STP's in there though.
I don't think STP is grunge.
I don't think any of them are grunge because grunge isn't a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a movement. About? It's not a genre.
What do you mean movement?
It's just they all came out at a similar time.
Well, that's why I think STP gets put into grunge, but they're not grunge.
I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, if I had to rank the top 5, if I had to take the 5, count them 5, the 5 grunge bands, I would probably go Alice in Chains, Nirvana.
You got to put STP over Pearl Jam.
I want to say STP.
No way.
Yeah, I want to say Alice in Chains, Nirvana, STP, Pearl Jam, and Soundgarden.
I like that.
I'm going to go do a little bit of research.
Personally, I would do Alice in Chains. If we're talking, I don't think STP is grunge, but I'll say they're grunge. I'd do Alice in Chains, STP, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I don't think STP is grunge because I think their stuff is a lot different than all those other bands. Like, their stuff doesn't make me upset, when I listen to it. Every other band in that category does. So that's how I define grunge, I guess.
If it's upsetting, it's grunge.
If it's upsetting, it's grunge, yeah.
If it upsets my stomach, it's grunge.
McDonald's is grunge.
Any food can be grunge.
No, McDonald's is usually like Wendy's or BK is grunge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say for me, honestly, it's a close second between Nirvana and STP.
I know you like Nirvana.
You're not a big Nirvana fan?
I like Nirvana, but I like STP better.
Oh, yeah. It's a toss-up for me. I'm probably putting Pearl Jam at the bottom, not going to lie.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so for me, it's probably going to go... Honestly, it's probably going to go, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, STP, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam.
I'm with you there, except I'd switch STP and
Nirvana. That is very close for me. Very close. So
I like Nirvana. I do. They do have some good songs.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? My favorite song, Nirvana song, I think is Breed.
This is Basic by like Lithium.
That's a good one.
That's good.
I like Lounge Act. Lounge Act's good. I like Floyd the Barber off the first album.
I've heard that like a couple times. And that's
boom, boom, down. I think that's Floyd the Barber.
I feel like a big issue with like my bias towards Alice in Chains is like I never really got into anyone else. Well, actually, no, not really. But I really got into Alice in Chains. We kind of did, I feel like, around the same time. We did the same time. And our other buddy did too. We all went through an Alice in Chains
I think
phase.
we all discovered it.
Time.
We all discovered Alice in Chains. Why? I knew Man in the Box, but
we knew Them Bones and Man in the Box.
I didn't know Them Bones. I think. No. I did actually. I did. I knew Man in the Box and Them Bones and maybe Wood, but I think freshman year of college we all did a deep dive on Alice in Chains.
It started in freshman year. Freshman year was Facelift.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year was Dirt, which kind of describes those years perfectly.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, right in time for COVID.
Put You Down was freshman year.
I have an odd memory to that one. We're not going to discuss it.
Okay.
But I have an odd memory to that song.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Maybe. Yeah.
I know you do.
I think I do.
But
yeah, that album is Facelift's my favorite Nirvana album, and then Jar of Flies, and then they did
Chains.
Is that what I said? Nirvana? Yeah. Alice in Chains, and then Sap. Sap has Brother. And then No Excuses, right?
What's the one?
No Excuses.
Lately.
Got Me Wrong.
Yes,
Got Me Wrong.
Yes, that's a good one.
Is that on Sap too?
Yeah, it's on Sap.
I know No Excuses is a great one. Their Unplugged show is so good.
No Excuses.
Right?
Something like that.
Every day it's something different. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. Well, I'm glad we had.
Well, I think that's good.
We had to touch
overall.
on that.
I think that's good.
Yeah, no, we had to.
Yeah, I think that's good.
What you want to call it?
We'll call it.
Call it.
All right. This has been the 8th episode of Worst Idea Ever.
8th episode of Worst Idea Ever. We I don't know what the theme would be for today. Just we had to tie up some miscellaneous music stuff that we didn't touch on before the end of the season. Only 2 more episodes till the end of the season. 2 more episodes
till the end of the season.
10 episodes per season. So we just had to kind of wrap stuff up today and touch on some pertinent topics. Like I said before.
Indeed.
But yes, this has been the 8th episode of Worst Idea Ever. My name is Gabe.
I'm Thomas. Do you want to say what we've been drinking?
We can say what we've been drinking.
I had a Pepsi and a Proper 12. Proper 12.
Disorderly 12.
Disorderly 12, yeah. And then I had a Ingling Golden Pilsner and then a Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat.
Ooh.
Yes.
I was
Blue Moon.
Bucket the Blue Moon.
I see a blue moon rising.
Oh man, what else? What else is there?
What else has moon?
I'm just a man on the blue moon.
Bucket the blue moon.
Hey, yeah, bucket the blue moon.
Drink at the blue moon. All
right. No, I just had we're into December, so I would love it if they sold some Molson or some Labatt down here, but we're too far from the old Canadians to get that.
Indeed. Yes.
I was back home in Pennsylvania. They had Labatt in every gas station. Not here. I mean, I guess it's a fair, whatever. I understand why, but it's kind of upsetting. But winter beer, I had just a good old Blue Moon Belgian White. Yeah, that's all I've been drinking. And then some liquid death to wash it down. But yeah, nothing fancy. Episode 8. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, give it a good little flick.
Flick that bell.
Flick that bell. Yeah. Flick that bell for me. Leave a supportive comment. Share the video if you would like. And yeah, stick around for episode 9.
Christmas episode.
the Christmas special. Yes, episode 9. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all next time. Peace.
See ya.